Alright, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl. Looks like we have synergy, 2 auras, and double HP on our structures. Okay, well, I don't know, what are we gonna do here? I'm just gonna... I'm gonna put down 2 roaches and then call it a day. We'll put down 2 roaches here, call it a day. And then we'll spawn forward here, because synergy makes our units like 50% more expensive here. So yeah, boys, we got some Dahaka presence coming in here as well. We're joined here by Kujo here, who's playing some Nova. There we go. Boom, boom, bam. We got a Kerrigan, and there's a Karax. Oh, it's just gonna be Kerrigan, Karax, back to back to back. All right. Yeah, because one of the guys is left. It's gonna be Kerrigan, Karax back to back, and I got 2 auras. One of them's shadow, one of them's water. Okay. I mean, against Kerrigan, against Karax, I think I'm just gonna go some sort of Abathur death ball in the sky or something like that. It's almost not worth thinking about. I can get some Vipers and like that'll be it. Air could actually be not too bad for Vipers. Got that energy regen here. Or I could just buy a bunch of Vile Roaches and give them some attack speed. That looks like it could be pretty good. There's so many Zerglings here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get like a few more Vile Roaches here. I got a few more Vile Roaches here, but let's see if I go for an air fleet. I'll probably have to be a bunch of Devours. Devours costing 420 though. Water. I think water's just overall going to be better for me in the long run though. I don't know. I get that adaptive armor plating here. Drop a fatty mend here. Okay. Double HP on structures, come on. Oh man. Oh, we got Kerrigan coming out and some Phoenixes. I think my Mutalisk might lose to Kerrigan's though. Because mine does bonus damage to armored units, whereas Kerrigan's just bounces a little bit harder. So it could be bad. I'm gonna go for a Devourer here. I'm gonna go for a Devourer. And let's go for one of these, and we don't have any defensive structures here apparently. That's real nice. There we go. I'm just going for the water here. I don't know. There's no point. The water is just gonna be pretty good. I've got a bunch of abilities here. Earth is gonna be very good against Karax. I'm gonna go for that here. Get that extra armor. Got that 5 armor in my Devours, but I do need that corrosive spray. I'm just gonna buy a bunch of Devours. We should be fine. Just gonna go heavy armor Abathur here, and then we should be able to just run over Karax. Got some Marines coming out here. Honestly, Marines are just like a temporary solution against those guys, but in synergy, I guess with my Devourer presence, the Marines can actually do something against those Mirages. What does Karax have? Oh, he has fire. Okay, well, I guess he nullifies a bit of my earth then. I guess. Probably could get some tunneling claws here so my units here can... Oh my god. That is a lot. That is a lot of Mirages here. Okay, I'm gonna get that corrosive spray. Come on, get out there, boys. Get out there, boys. Get that corrosive spray. Oh my god. Okay, well, the Marines are handling this, temporarily. You need libs to really destroy these guys. But we got the cannon. Okay, that's nice. Nice meme. Alright, I got my Zerglings over here. There's 2 Kerrigans out here. There's 2 Queens as well. Should probably just go Swarm Host or something. I don't know. Force a Colossus. Or something like that. See, the Marines here suffer from the Goliath problem as well. I just need more Devours. I don't know. Because the Devour's AoE is also going to be useful against against the Mutalisk of Kerrigan if she ever decides to buy some. I'm gonna evolve some more armor here. Devour's high armor count, like base armor count, makes them like decently potent here. I'm gonna drop a mend here. Okay. They tried, boys. They tried. They tried. Oh my god. I need 8 biomass to charge these guys up. Jesus. Maybe I can just get a Ravager and biomass it up. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. We got a single Ravager. Just put him over here. Give him that juice. There we go. There we go. Juice him up, boys. I'm gonna level up the armor of these guys as well, so they can just make a big dent here. And then potent bile, floated bile ducts. Double life on structures, boys. Karax just went a bunch of mirages. I don't know why you do that as Karax, because you could definitely get some Colossus to help out as well. Like twice the Colossus is it's pretty lethal to have twice as much Colossi. There we go. Those 3 Devours here just ended it. Boom. Boom. Oh, we got some Mutalisks coming out here from Kerrigan. Well, guess we'll have to use some more Devours. Oh, does Kerrigan have blood? Oh god, Kerrigan does have blood. My Ravager Blast hit him, but like... Uh-oh. Come on. Nah, the Mutalisks don't stand a chance against Devours. Devours quite literally eat those things alive, boys. I'm gonna drop a men here. Oh, there's the Colossus. 8. Oh, Karax did he have the Mirage Shield? I could have sworn he did not have the Mirage Shield. But then again, might have just not been... I've been seeing it in front of me and just not paying enough attention. See here, the Colossus is here. The Colossus can just really, like, just smash the Marines really nicely. But it's looking like we're just gonna smash them before the Colossus are gonna be able to do anything effective. Kerrigan's Mutalisks are all the way in the back. I mean, there's 2 Kerrigans here, so it's twice the potency. But I'm just gonna attack up here and get some Vipers, and that should be the end of this. Get some Vipers and level up my armor all the way to max, and then that should be the end of this. I got 7 armor on these bad boys here. We're just gonna laugh at those Mutalisks. And then we're just gonna drop a fat mend on our wave here, basically taking no casualties. Gonna push right through. Uh-oh, Devours come back. Oh god. Alright, you know what? The Devours can do their own thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Make the game slightly more interesting by having it go on slightly longer. None of my allies put down any of their defensive structures, which is 10 out of 10, boys. There we go. Boom. There we go. We just murk those guys. And got some Hydralisks coming out here. I'm gonna get some Vipers like right next to my Devours here and get that fire support. I'm gonna get those virulent microbes. Come on, boys. Oh man. The Mutalisks, you can see, just don't stand a chance against the Devours. Haha! Oh man. Devours are good against like a medium-sized, like, clumping air units. Mediums to small-sized clumping air units. Oh, do I want Abduct here? I'm gonna turn off Abduct. Because I'm gonna micro it myself. Alright, boys. Ooh, yank that Colossus over there. Yeet! That Colossus is gone. Oh man, with that additional Viper, I think that's basically it. I'm just gonna add another Viper here. Oh, you wanna come up here and grab that Colossus? Yeet! There we go, it's dead. I think it died like on the way mid-flight sort of deal. There we go. Blinding Cloud, Parasitic Bomb. Let them have it, boys. Let them have it. Got a Viper over here. Yo, yank that Colossus over there. Yeet! There we go, he's gone. Yank that Colossus. I'm gonna drop a Fatty Men here because why not? Cat's got that double beacon coming down. Okay, well I got the heavy armor now. I got 8 armor on these bad boys. You want to come here and grab that thing, bro? Okay, you know what? You don't need to grab that. Okay, come here and grab them. Hit those colossi with the grab. Come on. Woo! Wait, the Viper died mid-grab. Oh my god, the Viper died mid-grab. Never have I ever been more betrayed. If the Viper dies mid-grab, you just get beamed. Alright, well I'm gonna go for another one of... I'm gonna go for another Ravager with the Biomass, because apparently that's been performing very well. Let's go for that here. And I'm gonna actually level up some flyer attacks now. Like we're not trucking around anymore, boys. We're not trucking around anymore. Let's see. Boom, boom. I'm gonna drop off Fat Men here. Should be able to just barrel through these air units here. Come on. There we go. Okay, my Devour surviving mostly intact. I'm gonna drop another Mend here. Well, that's the Mutaflock coming in. That's the Mutaflock coming in. I need some more Vipers, I think. My 2 Vipers are just not enough. Okay, Abathur is definitely the teammate you want to like this week. Well, why can't you abduct? There we go. Get him over there. I have 2 Vipers over here. I was like, why can't they abduct? Just grab them. I'm gonna drop a Fat Men here, so that our waves are almost making contact, like full health essentially. That's a lot of Colossus though. Yeah, we're gonna need a few more Vipers. We're gonna need a few more Vipers up in here. Hold on. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. I could probably use more Devourers, actually. I only have like 4 of them. 5 of them. Could definitely use a few more. A few more Parasitic Bombs wouldn't hurt as well, but I think the Parasitic Bombs aren't really doing that much because the Mutalisk are just healing, I think. And I'm just going to turn Abduct on. I'm going to see what happens if they just... Yep, okay, they just grab the Colossus by their own volition, so that's good. That's good. I want that, so I'll just keep it on. I'm gonna get some more Devourers over here. Maybe I could get a Leviathan. I don't know. Would that be worth it? No idea. Parasitic Bomb here. Just kind of dealing some damage to Karax, but... Ooh! That looked like it hurt. Just gonna barrel through here. Gonna drop off Fatty Men here. Boom. Colossus just getting yanked forward. They're gone now. It's over. To be honest, the Karax, this Karax-Kerrigan duo composition is actually staying alive for a lot longer than I expected it to. I'm gonna be real honest here. I thought this composition was gonna fall apart like literally right away. Like we just breathe on it and it's gonna fall apart. But somehow it's not, so I don't know. Maybe Dahaka could be getting some like Ultralisk and Tyrannosaurs, you know, that could be helpful. Probably should Dahaka know that. I think that's what he's saving for, right? Dahaka's got like a few thousand minerals or something. I don't know, boys. I'm gonna level up my weapons all the way now so that we're gonna be super serious damage output against these things. There we go, Vipers. Go and grab them. Go and get them, boys. Kerrigan hasn't used her Disruption Wave at all. Okay. Actually, my Devourers are kind of getting beamed by these Mutalisk, actually, now I'm looking at it. Like, unless they get hit by the Vipers, or like the initial blast of the Devour AoE, like when they all attack like just one clump of Mutalisks together, I'm actually kind of losing here. Well, that's okay, because the rest of my wave is winning, so it's fine. And I'm just gonna push in here. Boom. Boom. Yeah, because the Mirages protect the Mutalisk really nicely. But that's looking like the end of days here. My Devourers have just eaten everything. They've eaten it dry, boys. They've eaten it dry. That's gonna be it, boys. Next, no way their Nexus survives that. There we go. Sheesh. Honestly, this composition stayed alive for a lot longer than I thought it was gonna. Like 15 minutes. Damage dealt over here, not that high. But you know, I was in the support role here. Dahaka just taking so many hits with the small Dahaka. But Kuja here definitely doing a lot of damage with those. I guess it was all those Marines. They were just pumping out DPS here. And there was apparently there was a holo decoy here. Let's see, what's the blood and okay, blood and force. And Dahaka just had a bunch of upgrades that he didn't use. Did he just have double shadow? All right, well, let's go on to the tier list, boys. All right, and we are back. Let's get to it. So, game plan, we're going to talk about the overall auras. Overall strategy, auras, and commander rankings. Let's rock. Let's get into it. If you guys made it this far, please remember to drop a like and a sub if you guys are not yet subbed already. Let's go, boys. So, we got Bastion, double structures and HP, double HP structures, sorry. Structures have double HP. I don't know why I can't talk right now. And we have 2 auras. We all know what auras is. You just pick up a nice little powerful buff. And of course, we have synergy, where so all our units spawn at the same time and it costs 50% more. So that's basically it for this week. So I think honestly, every time it's like synergy, you just want to like I think play heavily into the role of your commander, like the role as in like what they're strongest as or best at. As well, any commanders who can provide like a high amount of utility or CC is super helpful. Some commanders more so than others. So let's take a look at where they stand. So I think this week Stukov is probably your best all-around commander. All around in the sense that like he does a bit of everything like decently well. So you can like just run it down with a lot of boys at Stukov. Bam, checkbox is checked. You can get pretty tanky and like support your allies with bunkers. That's also checked. And as a, I guess like as like a true like I guess DPS support, not like a heal or like utility support, you can get like the Stukov tanks that generates value. If somehow you save up enough money, which you probably won't, Alexander could be could be a thing too. But it's most likely that you'll just be supporting in those ways. And also your commander abilities can help repair the Nexus, stop your opponent's buildings from attacking. Just overall, very good things. So I think Stukov is just hands down S tier because he's very versatile. And Raynor, I think, fills a similar role this week with his ability to just either lock down the skies, or you can just run it down with a lot of boys, you know, the Raynor classic. Or for some odd reason, you're like, you know what, I'm going to support this time. You can buy some medics. Or you can just do a bit of both. Or all of those things at the same time over the course of the entire game. You could of course buy some dollar store siege tanks too, but why would you want that? They're like not even dollar store value anymore, and they still do their dollar store damage. So I don't know, boys. Abathur I think is also going to be S tier because he does okay. So he's not as strong I think as Raynor or Stukov by comparison. I mean I think of the S tier guys, Raynor's probably the strongest, but Abathur, he's got that utility. You could go Queens I guess, but probably better to just invest in Ravagers. Roaches are a decent sort of early game frontline. They will eventually fall over and die. If you really do have to be the frontline for your team, a Brutalist is a great sponge as well. Vipers, I think, is what makes Abathur so good because you just disable your entire opponent's ground wave, and your team can just beat the crap out of them while they're walking forward because of Blinding Cloud. So, honestly, every time synergy comes around, I just think Abathur is really good. Also, men can heal your entire wave. You guys probably saw that back there, so it's pretty good. In the A tier, we have commanders, I think, who can do one of the roles really, really well and or have a little bit of flexibility as well. Not as flexible as the first guys. So I think Karax is really great with the tanking. You can just run it down with a bunch of sentinels and just like be a meat shield. But if your teammates don't have any damage, like you're actually just out here wild and like you're just done. You're finished. You could go for like dominate the air with mirages. They're like not too bad. They're not like pushovers. They're not like ridiculously OP, but they can definitely do it. And Karax has got that very powerful backline support with his Colossus as well. So he just needs an ally who can maybe help him out with the skies as well. So he can't dominate the skies by himself. I mean, carriers are pretty potent, but they're also very expensive, very pricey. And Karax has got that beam, so the beam is pretty powerful if you're, like, I mean, you can just drop it right on your opponent's wave, especially when, like, it just gets really concentrated later in the game. That could just wipe out so much value. So yeah, and then your sentinels, not your sentinels, your sentry will help increase the attack speed of some of your allies' critical like attack like siege units, which is also going to be very helpful. So I think yeah, Karax overall is going to be pretty decent, not OP, but pretty decent. Mex here I think is also going to be pretty strong, because of his versatility with his boys. You can sort of run it down with probably have to use some Sigma boys instead of Ligma boys. I don't know. Ligma boys are a bit expensive now. Your Royal Guards are very pricey, so you really got to pick them properly. I think you can definitely do a lot of damage with them. And I guess you can kind of go in the support and tanking role, although you're not really that good there. It's better if you just try to invest in some Royal Guards. But you can do a little bit of that. So Mex is more of like a high damage role. I think Dahaka honestly is really good this week as well, because Dahaka himself is just, full of utility. He's very tanky himself, very strong. You can probably go small Dahaka and like just have a massive units there and just, be like a frontline / aggro that way. Or you can go pure frontline Dahaka with very affordable Ultralisks that are also very healthy and can do quite a lot of disruptions. You can also transition into late game creeper hosts. So Dahaka definitely has he has what it takes to go a distance this week very nicely. So yeah, in the B tier we have commanders who are okay. I want to say okay because they're not super powerful, I don't think, because they have some meaningful weaknesses this week. But they're not I guess really bad. I don't know. So in the B tier we have Vorzun here. So Vorzun's black hole is quite useful. But other than that, her Centurions are just worse Sentinels, and her Corsairs are worse Abathur Vipers. In terms of the CC aspect. And Vorzun doesn't really bring much else to the table there. So basically, if you're playing Vorzun should probably actually be in the C tier. Hold on, let me fix that real quick. All right, it's fixed. Vorzun's basically in the C tier. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wait, Nova should probably be up in the B tier, because Nova's actually pretty good. So anyways, we'll talk about Vorzun, because her abilities are still kind of, they're okay, but she doesn't bring anything else to the table, so not that great. So actually, let's go back to the B tier. So I think I thought about it a bit, and I was like, because I played a few games before I started filming this, and I realized that Nova's actually pretty strong if you get her to siege up, or you can get her to frontline. You can get her to do a bit of both. I think DFG Nova is pretty consistent. Her units are just very pricey, so you just cannot really afford to choose the wrong thing. She's not super broken, but if you give her time to scale up and your opponents are building right into you, she can just crush it. As everyone can, but right. But Nova's utility doesn't really exist, and I think she's mostly here around for the support / midline, maybe tanking position. The DFG I think is probably your most consistent build, although you might have to go Banshees against some things. So yeah, Phoenix I think is also B, because Phoenix Lens, he himself has some powerful units here that can be very helpful. For example, Dragoon Phoenix, Warbringer, Clolarian could be pretty strong too, but those guys are so they're big ticket. And I think Talus is very good. I just knocked over a bottle, don't worry. Talus is very good. And Arbiter Phoenix is very strong too, especially because you can just cloak your opponents, cloak your wave every single time too. So your opponents are gonna have to either be Rainer and or dump scans for free, or just lose minerals. So it's the Arbiter tax, boys. And what is it? There was another unit there that I want to talk about. Disruptors. Yes, disruptors are super tough to deal with because they just sit there menacingly, dropping little bombs. They will destroy anything that exists on the ground. And your opponents usually just end up walking past it because the detectors are too busy focusing on whatever staring them in the face that is a enemy unit, and so they just stand there, and then the enemy's melee units just run past the disruptor, and the disruptors survive for the next wave. So I think honestly, with Phoenix, that's a really solid strategy. Your heroes, probably the only ones worth getting, I would say, was Warbringer and Talus. The other ones are I guess if you really need to get them, you can get them, I think. But I think if you just go Warbringer Talus, I think that'd be pretty strong. B tier, we got Alarak. Alarak, I guess you can kind of frontline with Alarak, but you have to feed him chicken nuggets, and there's so many enemies, so you're just gonna get meltated super fast. So I don't know how I feel about that. Alarak's backline though is pretty strong, but you just gotta hope your allies got something to help you, because if you got a bunch of Wrathwalkers, which cost $5 million each now, and your allies have no front line, well, I got news for you. your Wrathwalkers are also worthless now. But if you have an ally who can like really tank for your Wrathwalkers, oh my god, that is going to be beautiful. So that's basically the Alarak experience I think you're going to get this week. Havocs are really good as support as well. Don't discount them. Definitely get a few of them. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, Alarak's got a small unit count, and like he's got a pretty consistent strategy, so that's one of the good things I like about him. So yeah, Haunted Horner I think is pretty good with the Reap the Whirlwind. No. Probably just Hellbats. Hellbats Grenade Car is pretty strong, and then you'll probably have to transition into I don't know. I don't really feel Deimos Vikings this week because Deimos Vikings are really good against enemy air, but when they land, it's like it could be good, but it could also be really bad because if your opponents have a lot of anti-armor, their Deimos are just gonna get shredded. Like I just don't feel right with Deimos Vikings and Wraiths. Like it just feels kind of funky, you know. Like they're not like a do-it-all sort of unit. I think the only do-it-all sort of unit that Haunted Horner has is carriers, and I mean if you get double fire and you can switch to carriers, I mean I'd just do it. I would just do it. Just sell everything off, go to carriers, and just like get it to generate Hellbats or something. And potentially could be really good. I don't know. I did it last week in the Stim Brawl, but the Stim Brawl was obviously not a synergy brawl, so the carriers didn't cost as much. But yeah, I don't know. So Haunted Horner is definitely not like super strong, definitely not super weak. So like B tier. So anyway, C tier. We already talked about Warzone, so let's talk about Artanis. I think Artanis could be very strong in certain matchups, especially if there's a matchup that really makes use of his Archon. However, Archons might get nerfed a little bit because of blood. If your opponent has blood, the Psystorm might as well not exist, because I think Psystorm does 70 damage or 80 damage over 5 seconds, and blood heals 8 every second, so it'll heal half of the Psystorm, basically. And if your opponent has 2 blood, well, you just pack up and just leave. That's it. So yeah, Artanis' units are quite pricey, so you really have to make the right choice. If you make the wrong choice, then oops. You're kind of boned. Your shield overcharge is pretty strong. I would have to say that it's pretty strong, because especially if you're allies, you have a spamming ally like, I don't know, Kerrigan, Stukov, Zagar, any of the Zerg boys, Manx even, Raynor, right? Very, very potent. So I don't know. I feel like Artanis is just a bit more of a support role. I guess like you can just go for the AoE units like Reavers and Archons and Zealots. So that could be okay, but I don't see it being too much better. Compared to say someone like Karax, I would say. Next, Tychus in the C tier. Why? Because Tychus's units are very expensive. Upgrades are also very expensive now, which means you gotta like really pick properly and carefully and know what you're doing on Tychus. And like most people don't know what they're doing on Tychus. Tychus is either like a feast or famine. Like if you don't know what you're doing, then you're just like, it's just a bad time. So on average, probably a C tier. If you know what you're doing, probably Tychus could be like A or S. S might be pushing it. A, I think, is definitely possible. So yeah, and actually, I think this is the biggest D tier roster we've had for the longest time. So Swan is D tier because Hellbats get beamed by literally everything. And then what does Swan provide after that? Oops, not much. If you go tank, that is. If you have an ally who can frontline for you, Swan's tanks are actually really good. But yeah, you really got to pray that you have an ally who can do that for you. If you don't have an ally who can do that for you, then I think you have to be the front line, and that's not very good. You could be support with Science Vessels, but they're not that strong, because they're also super pricey. So Swan's just like a little sort of stuck and dead in the water this week. I don't know, like you could build your super squishy Goliaths and then get them run over, but like I think the best idea is like hopefully you have an ally who can help you build tanks. And if you do, that's great. Just go tanks. I'm pretty sure your tanks will just like crush everything. You don't have any real air power though, so that's a little bit sus. So there's that. Yeah. Another D tier is Kerrigan. Kerrigan's strategy involves buying lots of very small units and then sending them into your opponent's face in large amounts. Unfortunately, because everything costs so much, Kerrigan can't send as much every time. So her core strategy is already getting beamed. And then the next thing is her most useful units, also known as her Ultralisk, cost like an arm and a leg to buy. I think this week you just want to go Ultralisk as Kerrigan. Like it was probably the most useful contribution to your team, besides maybe Lurkers, but Lurkers are like, not that great. They're not that great unless like you literally have like 50 of them and they're all like attacking the same thing that's running at you in a straight line. Otherwise, they're gonna do some weird like line triangulation thing. It's gonna break up and it's gonna look real bad. So yeah, Kerrigan is ultimate, her wave, is pretty potent too. If you can use it every single time it's up, but it happens like I think every 6 waves now. But still, it's not bad, I guess. I don't really see Kerrigan like as like I think she just fills she just fills the tanking role really nicely. Like for damage, like Hydralisks are pretty costly now, and they're pretty squishy, and like their high DPS, I guess, kind of makes up for it a little bit. But the high amount of AOE you're gonna expect this week just means you're gonna get beamed. And Kerrigan doesn't really have any like outplay potential or any other good options to do anything with. She just gets beamed, like that's it. She just relies on pure volume. So yeah, Stetman here D tier because Stetman's units are also very pricey, and he kind of just, I don't know, like maybe you could get lurkers. He doesn't really have anything going for him against like such a big wave. Like Banelings are definitely decent at just like crushing your opponent's front line in Super Gary with the E-Gorbs. Very potent. Don't discount those guys. But other than that, I'm like BCLs are so pricey and they're just gonna get knocked out of the sky. Other than that, like I don't think Stetman has much going for him. I guess you could go tanking with your ultras as well, but they cost 660 minerals a piece, so very pricey. But I think that's all you can do with Stetman, really. Like your Hydralisk are only there for anti-air. Your Lings aren't really a damage source. So Stetman's just really sort of like he also doesn't really benefit too well from the auras either, so it's not like you can like make up for it or something like that. Like the auras all feel kind of wacky on Stetman, maybe except for the armor one. But even then, like if you go Banelings, it's like, oof, what am I gonna use the armor for? My Baneling's gonna blow up anyways. So yeah, yeah. Anyways, finally, we have Zagara in the D tier. Zagara's like pseudo D tier in the sense that you can spam a bunch of Zerglings for a little bit, and then like when she scales into enough aberrations that your entire wave blows up, then she becomes S tier. But until then, she's D tier. Zagara is more of like a timing issue, I think. So maybe I should put her a little bit somewhere else. But the thing is, it's like if you start the game at D tier, then like you're D tier for like until you get out of it. So yeah, I mean, if you lose in the first 5 minutes, then oops, that's what happens, right? But Zagara scales like just into the late game really well because of all the explosions that she has. So eventually she'll be very strong, but you really got to go for a long game. And I mean, we got a long game this week, so probably Zagara could actually end up being like somewhere higher up in the tier list, but only later on. Anyways, that's it for the tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below on something that I might have missed, or I don't know, some comments, additional comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, until next time, I will see you guys later.
The tires! Let's light some fires! Need a light. They picked the wrong fight.